Real quick before the video starts, I have a new channel based around green text stories on 4chan, and I'll be uploading videos daily over there. If you're interested, I'll leave a link to the channel in the description. Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Michael, and we're going to be getting right back into some more Reddit stories. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's begin. This story was posted by a user named OKJelly in the AIO subreddit. The post is titled, "I'm threatening to take my sister to court after her toddler destroyed my $2,000 gaming setup. She said I should have baby-proofed my apartment. Hi Reddit, I am a 25-year-old female and I am honestly at my breaking point with this one. I need outside perspective because my entire family is acting like I am Hitler for standing my ground. So I am a student software developer and a pretty serious PC gamer in my free time. I live alone in a one-bedroom apartment that I have spent years making cozy and functional. I saved up for a long time to build my dream PC setup. Triple monitors, a custom mechanical keyboard, an ergonomic chair, the works. Altogether, my rig is worth a bit over $2,000 and I take care of it like it is a child. Last weekend, my older sister, who is 30, asked if she could crash at my place for one night because her apartment was being fumigated and her husband was out of town. She has a 3-year-old son, Max, who is, let us say, spirited. I love him, but he is a little chaos goblin. I hesitated, but she swore she would keep an eye on him and that it would just be for one night. They showed up Saturday afternoon and immediately it was clear she was not kidding about Max being a handful. Within 10 minutes of arriving, he had pulled 4 books off my shelf, thrown my houseplants on the floor, and spilled juice on my area rug. I tried to stay chill. He is 3, I get it, but I asked my sister politely to please keep him out of my office where my PC setup is. She rolled her eyes and said, "He is just exploring, he is curious, it is normal." But she closed the office door anyway. Cut to Sunday morning. I woke up to screaming. Max had apparently woken up before his mom, managed to open the office door, and decided my setup was his new jungle gym. He pulled down one of my monitors, cracking the screen. He stuck crackers into the PC tower's ventilation slots, yanked out my keyboard's keycaps, and had colored on my chair with permanent marker. The cherry on top, he poured apple juice into the tower, into it. When I tell you I went silent, I mean dead silent. My sister came in, saw the damage, and just said, "Oh no," in this incredibly flat tone like someone knocked over a cup of coffee. I started freaking out, and she had the audacity to say, "You should have baby-proofed the room if it was that important to you." I lost it. I told her that 1, she knew he was not supposed to be in there, 2, this is my space, not a daycare, and 3, baby-proofing a $2,000 gaming setup is not a standard requirement for adults living alone. She told me to calm down and said that he is just a kid and stuff is replaceable. I told her she could replace it then. She said she did not have the money right now, but maybe in a few months she could give me a few $100s. I told her that was not acceptable and that she needed to take full responsibility. She left in a huff, and now my whole family is blowing up my phone. My mom says I am being materialistic and should understand that my nephew did not mean it. My dad said I should have locked the door if it was that important. My brother actually said, "Why do you even need 3 monitors anyway? That is kind of overkill." I have filed a claim with my insurance, but there is no guarantee it will be covered since it was technically guest damage. I also told her that if she does not pay up, I will take her to court for what happened. Now I am getting texts from my sister demanding an apology for blaming her kid for being curious. I told her I would drop it if she covered the cost of repairs and replacements or at least met me halfway, and she blocked me. So am I overreacting if I take my sister to court over this? Update. Wow, just wow. 4 hours later, I wake up from my nap to this. Thank you guys. It will take a bit for me to read all of this. My sister still has not unblocked me, but her husband reached out to find out what happened. I am sorry I do not have more to tell yet, but I will update again when I do. Seriously, thanks for the insights everyone. My head is a lot clearer now. Update 2. My sister's husband reached out as mentioned earlier, and we are working out a solution if possible. He has been really understanding, as have all of you. Also, to clarify the office situation, my 1-bedroom apartment is on the smaller side, approximately 33 square meters or 355 square feet. So the landlord converted an old ex-clothes cabinet into a makeshift office. It is weird, but the building is from the 1940s, and I guess they had to get creative with the space with an old tenant or something. So it is living room, my sister and her kids slept there, plus kitchen, I slept there, plus the office. Thanks for all the support and the award. I really do not have the words for how nice people have been in both direct messages and the comments. Update 3. Just wanted to post a quick update since it has been a little under a week and a few people asked what happened next. Things are better, pretty strange, and still ongoing, but here is where we are at. Last Saturday, my brother-in-law came over to check out the damage himself. He actually brought Max, the toddler, with him, which I was almost livid about at first, but he had a reason. He asked Max to try opening the office door. The kid could not do it. The door was too heavy for him. You probably can guess where this is going. My brother-in-law offered to take my PC to the store that originally built it for me just to see what was fixable. I agreed, but asked for something in writing just so I had some peace of mind. We put together a little agreement that he would be responsible for it while it was with him. Yeah, it was just a formality and would not hold much merit anywhere, but it helped me feel a bit more in control. On Monday, he dropped it off at the shop and gave them my number so they could keep me updated. He also told me he confronted my sister about how things played out. I sent him my original Reddit post too. He read the comments and apparently showed them to her. She still has not unblocked me, and from what I have heard, was not happy about the fact my brother-in-law is actually listening to me. I also shared the post and some comments with my parents and brother since no one really believed me before. My parents still do not fully get it, but they have at least stopped pushing back. My brother is more understanding now, though for some reason, he mostly wanted to talk about how many people saw the post. I do not think either of those three still care, really, and I am fine if they see this. Do better. Anyway, I went to see the PC today, Wednesday here. The shop said it is mostly salvageable. It needs a very careful internal clean and a few fans replaced and some wiring fixed, but overall the main parts survive somehow. My brother-in-law told me he will cover the cost of the repair, no hesitation. When I brought up what my sister said about not being able to pay even $200, he said she is lying. He also said he is not sure Max actually did all the damage. He thinks the door was left open on purpose or that my sister might have even done some of it herself. Based on the height of the tower and where the crackers ended up, it did not quite add up to a toddler acting alone. Apparently, she has been telling him I have a gambling addiction. I did get a bit hooked on Genshin Impact like 4 years ago, I guess, and that maybe this whole thing will wake me up, which is new. She used to be supportive or at least indifferent. No idea where that switch came from. So yeah, that is where we are at. My PC is being cleaned up and fixed, and my brother-in-law is covering the cost. My sister still has me blocked and will not talk to me. Still tempted to start something with her, to be honest, especially if she actually did all of this on purpose. Still not ruling out small claims court, depending on how things go. Thanks again to everyone who responded to the original post. Seeing how many people understood what happened really helped me hold the line with my family when I felt like I was losing my mind. One thing I've been turning over in my head lately is, what if my sister did do something to my setup on purpose? I do not want to believe that. It feels like a stretch, but the more I think about it, the less so, I guess. But then I remember how she acted when I asked her to keep Max out of the office. The eye roll and the "he is just curious" comments, like she did not take any of it seriously. And now hearing from my brother-in-law that she has been saying I have a crippling gambling, gaming, whatever addiction and needed to grow up. It is just weird. She used to be cool about it. Never super into games herself, but she got that it was important to me. If something changed, I do not know when or why. And if this was some weird way to make a point or teach me a lesson, that is messed up. You are not our mom. How about talking first instead of this? I do not want to jump to conclusions, but the more I think about it, the less it makes sense that Max could have done all of that alone. It is sick if she blamed her own son for it. So yeah, not accusing anyone outright, but that thought is there now. And if you are my sister reading this, which I am guessing you are, because I bet you would love to look at the comments that are on your side a lot. I do not know why you blocked me. I do not know what shifted in your head about all this, but if you actually had anything to do with damaging my setup, whether it was on purpose or just through complete carelessness, fuck you. You know I worked hard for that. You know what that rig meant to me, and you know I would never do something like this to your stuff. And if Max really did all of it on his own, I hope you're paying closer attention now, not for my sake, but for his. Read the comments on my first post again from other parents and people with younger siblings who clearly know better than you. That is all. Update 4. A few weeks ago, I made a post about how my sister's toddler, a 3-year-old boy, almost destroyed my PC setup. Long story short, she and her son were staying with me for one night. He got into my office and the whole setup got wrecked with juice and cracker bits shoved into the tower. The situation was awful, and when I asked my sister for help covering the damage, she made an excuse and blamed me instead. It became a whole family drama. My sister blocked me and acted like the whole thing was my fault, but her husband, my brother-in-law, reached out on his own. He checked the damage himself, helped take the PC in for repairs, and ended up covering the costs because he was genuinely embarrassed by the way she acted. He even started questioning whether their toddler could have done that much damage on his own, especially after the kid could not even open the door by himself. My brother-in-law thought maybe my sister left it open or did something herself. Within a week of that, my brother-in-law confronted her and, well, she kicked him out of the house. Like, full on, told him to get the hell out, packed up his things, dumped them, and left them by the curb like he was a stray dog. He told me she screamed that he was betraying her and taking the side of that fucking Reddit bitch, meaning me. She also apparently accused him of conspiring and cheating on her with me to humiliate her publicly, which, what? She has not let him see their kids since. No visits, no phone calls. She has gone full black hole mode and is completely unreachable, threatening the cops if he goes near. She has blocked me, my brother, even some extended family, and is only talking to our parents who are still enabling her. But I think it is only so they can keep Max at arm's length. Meanwhile, I am hearing rumors that she has been telling people I am unhinged, psychotic, and that I made the whole thing up. She told one of our cousins that I lured her kid into the office like some kind of trap or setup. I do not know if this is postpartum related or if something snapped or if she has just always been this vindictive and I did not want to see it. But I am scared. Scared for her kid. Scared for her husband. And yeah, I am also scared for myself because if she is willing to ruin her whole marriage and turn the family against me just to protect a lie. My parents want to keep it under wraps, but I know my brother-in-law wants to get her help. I want to get her help too, but I do not know where to start or what to do. What can I start with to possibly push her towards someone who can help her out? Has someone here dealt with a situation like this before? I feel helpless as I know she is an adult and has free will, but I fear for her safety and my nephew's safety as well. My brother-in-law voiced wanting to divorce her and told my parents he will get his son whether they approve or not. His side of the family is furious with mine and I have no idea where I stand because, yeah, I guess I started this. Is this salvageable? If so, how? What can I do? Who can I contact within the states? Is there anything I can do even? Does anyone know? Update 5. It has been a while, so I did not want to post this on AIO, but for those still interested in my situation, here is an update. The good news first, my PC is fully functional again. The store was able to recover it. My nephew is now in a safe and stable environment with my brother-in-law. Unfortunately, there have also been some difficult developments. My brother-in-law is currently in the process of separating from my sister. It seems I have essentially been disowned by my mother, and now it appears by my father as well. The only one still in contact with me is my brother. Thank you to those who have checked in or supported me during all this. It truly means a lot. Exciting Telephone said, "Who needs enemies when you have family like this?" To this comment, user Carbonatite said, "My blood pressure went way too high reading this. It is infuriating how selfish the sister is and how oblivious the parents are. I feel so bad for OP. She is just collateral damage from a black hole of a human being sucking everything in." This next story was made in the AITA subreddit by a throwaway account. The post is titled, "I'm concerned about the damage my son did to my car. I am a mother of two. Vanessa, who is 25, and Brandon, who is 22. I am not married to their father, but they both have a relationship with him. They went to visit him this past weekend for Father's Day and were set to get to my house on Monday. Brandon drove the two of them there and was supposed to drive back. The car he drives was originally mine. I paid it off and did not ask him to buy it from me on the condition that he is responsible with it. He was only paying for gas and maintenance. This was the first car I've ever been able to pay for up front without taking out a loan, which carries sentimental value, so it is my car as far as I'm concerned. A few minutes after they left their dad's, I got a call from Vanessa saying that they had gotten into an accident. I asked if the car was damaged and she told me it was totaled. I was immediately furious because Brandon knew how hard I worked for that car, and I was very clear that I expected him to care for it. I asked Vanessa to please put her brother on the phone. Instead, their father came on and explained that they were in the emergency room and that our son was receiving treatment. My ex then started to berate me for being more concerned about the property than about the kids and for getting angry at our son without knowing the situation, but in my defense, I had not realized that he was injured. To be clear, Brandon will be fine and the other driver was completely unharmed, but they are all still furious with me. I had assumed that if his injuries were serious, it would have been the first thing they told me, but that is not a good enough explanation for them. It has been a few days now and both kids are still with their father and will not come stay with me. Update. First of all, to be very clear, I do not care about the car more than I care about my children. It was a moment of heightened emotion, and I spoke before thinking. I can concede that it was insensitive. To be clear again, my son has a concussion and a few broken ribs, but will be fine. The car is unsalvageable, and yes, it is insured, but that will not replace the sentimental value, but it is fine. Now, I called my children to apologize and explained that I would not have asked about the car first had I known that they were in an emergency room. Vanessa admitted that she should have told me that first, but that she was very stressed at the time. I was not able to get far into the conversation when their father came in with some choice words for me, and the call ended shortly after. I believe he may be manipulating the kids into not wanting to talk to me or come over, but they are adults and that is their prerogative. My plan is to let it play out. Implement Justice said she should have told me first, when her own first question to her child was if the car was damaged. To this user, Fet Nape said, "That struck me as obviously hypocritical and projecting as well. OP blames anyone but themselves and does not understand why the ex is rightfully upset." This third post was made in the same subreddit by a user named My Dad Died. The post is titled, "I want to go to a funeral that I'm not invited to. I do not really know where to start, but my dad died. He, my mom, and 3 out of 4 of my siblings stopped talking to me about 7 years ago because I decided to leave the Mormon church. That is literally all I did. I was not vocal about my disbelief. I did not try to get them to see my way. I just had my name removed from the church records, and they decided not to talk to me, besides to send me talks from their prophet about how I am not going to be in heaven with them. I still love my family very deeply and would be lying if I said I did not miss them every day and would probably have just pretended I still believed and stayed in the church if I knew I would be disowned by them. I got a freaking text this morning from my sister saying that my dad died last Saturday and was doing me the courtesy of telling me in person so I would not find out through Facebook. I asked when the funeral was and got a call from my uncle that went like this: "You are not invited to the funeral. Do not show up and embarrass your family and cause your mother any more grief. That is not fair. He was..." End of call. And now I am getting texts from my other siblings saying that I can always see dad again one day if I come back to church, and I just do not know what to do. I am just kind of heartbroken. I know I was not his favorite person when he died, but goodness sakes, I am still his daughter. He was my dad. He taught me to ride a bike, to cook, and how to shoot a gun. He was there through my first breakup, when I graduated, and when I moved into my first apartment. I still love him. I had hopes of reconciliation and had dreamed of him walking me down the aisle one day. But now I cannot even say goodbye to them because I decided I do not believe in their God. The funeral is Friday and I really want to be there. I am grieving too. Would I be the asshole if I went? Edit. First, I want to thank you all for the advice and kind words. It really did help. I called my brother before his flight yesterday, and he encouraged me to go to my grandparents' house and talk to them. There is a lot of stuff surrounding my dad's death that I did not know about, and it plays a big role in why my mom and family hate me even more now and do not want me at the funeral. My dad had been diagnosed with thyroid cancer in June. He talked to my grandma and grandpa about me and what had happened. I guess he had been against cutting me off, but did it because my mom ultimately said it was her or me. He talked to them about wanting to reconnect with me because he did not want to die on bad terms. This caused a fight with my parents and they argued about it up until last week. My dad decided he did not care if my mom left him and started staying at my grandparents' house. He was on his way to my place when he was hit by a drunk driver and killed. So my mom and family ultimately blame me for his death. Last night was a hard night for me, and I will admit that I partly blame myself too. My dad's sister is letting me stay with her and ride with her and my grandparents to the funeral. My dad's family has been very kind to me these past 24 hours, and I am glad I will have them to lean on during the funeral. I do not think my mom will make a scene at the funeral if I am with my aunt. She is scared of her, but my brothers and sisters might. My big brother's flight comes in soon, and he and I already talked about going together to the wake my dad's side is hosting. I am hoping since it is at a bar, none of my Mormon family will be there, and I can be surrounded by people who I love and remember my dad. Honestly, I was still torn about going because I do feel a little guilty about his death, but he wanted to spend the rest of his life with me in it, so I will definitely be at his funeral. Update. First, I want to say thanks because even though this is not an advice sub, I received good advice on my original post and it really helped me reach out to my dad's side of the family. I did end up going to my dad's service and funeral. My aunt took me along with my grandparents. Thanks to all the ex-Mormons who told me what I should expect at the funeral. If I had not known what was going to happen, I would have probably been even more of a mess than I already was. My mom and her family were not happy to see me. She did not even talk to me during the funeral, which I guess is a lot better than her yelling at me. My older brother sat with me and my dad's side of the family during the funeral and was my support through the whole thing. He and my grandparents even encouraged me to get up and share stories about my dad when the time came for people to give final words. The wake was nice. I guess my dad would sneak out and get a drink with my uncle every now and then, so they had the wake at their favorite bar. My brother supporting me through everything and realizing he would have my back even when it came to our mom means the world to me. I am still trying to process his death, especially since he died on his way to see me. I have started seeing a therapist at my brother and aunt's suggestion. I was in a really bad place for a few weeks after the funeral, and it has really been a lot of help. Yesterday was my dad's birthday, and my aunt and I drove up to visit his grave. It was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, but hard nonetheless. Gwynison said, so the mom was full Mormon, whereas it sounds like the dad was Mormon because I have to be to keep my wife happy. I am so sad for OP that they did not get to talk with the dad before he died. Wife of Bath said, I swear if one more person tells me that Mormons do not practice shunning, I will refer them to this post. Shunning does happen in the Mormon church. I am ex-Mormon and I have witnessed it myself, let me repeat. The Corporation of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is a cult whose members do participate in shunning. Not all of them, but enough of them that it absolutely counts. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, and thank you also to partner of the channel, GamerSupps. Use code DLAM to support the channel and get 10% off of your purchase, link in the description. I'm sure many of you like me have a hankering for daily caffeine, so go check them out. Lately, I've been a big fan of Titty Milk and Acid Rain, but they've got dozens of other flavors for y'all to try out. Anyway, thanks again for reaching the end, and I hope you all have an amazing passage of the next 24 hours.